Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg, where we are playing some Tetris Effects Connected. Just, because it's not Dominions, which is what I would normally be playing at this moment in time. Fuck my face. That's good. That's real good. Right. Yeah, so Dominions, yeah, I mean, you're probably sick of me even mentioning it, but it's my life now. It's too damn good. So, yeah, that's that. This week on this channel, Dominions. And that's next week, and the following week, and the week after that, and so on and so forth, for many weeks, for many months. We also had Fire Emblem 6, which is now finished. So that's done with. We have Fire Emblem 11 as well, an Iron Man run, but we might save that for a moment and upload some RimWorld stuff. Or I could go back to uploading solo RPGs, because I still have quite a lot of that. Quite a lot. I record too damn much. But it is what it is. Everything gets uploaded eventually. There have been times where I have had no backlog. Admittedly, it's been a while since that time, but there were times. So yeah, we'll probably upload some RimWorld alongside Dominions. Everyone's happy. Someday I will play the new RimWorld expansion, but it is not today. Yeah. Lego and I also continuing to play Dominions. We played 7 hours last night. Eventually it was close to 5 a.m. and I'm like, I think we're not gonna finish this game tonight. So yeah. There's always more time later. Elden Ring Night Rain, they announced that Duos is coming on July 30th, which is pretty intriguing. We're gonna wait to hear some reviews or thoughts on the duo mode, if it's actually balanced and doable. But if it is, that could be a fun thing to do with Lego on stream. I haven't really watched any footage of Night Rain, little tidbits and clips from the Hololive girls playing it. It definitely looks like Elden Ring, but faster. So I don't know. I don't know how Lego will like it. But yeah. We also, someday we'll get back to Archipelago. For a long while, we were just an Archipelago channel. Now we're a Dominions channel. Yeah. Eventually. I mean, Super Metroid will call to me, I suppose. Also, Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires is now on Archipelago, which, even though, you know, Dominions has basically just replaced that game for me in general, the Archipelago could be the swing that pulls me back. Oh, we're fucking this up well and good now. Yeah, so that's... I don't know when that will all be. I'm still playing Dominions. It's like the only game I'm playing. So we'll see. Right. Over on the Exploring series, put out a video on the Steel Soul, Part 1. It did not do too well, to say the least. Whether it was the title, or the art, the thumbnail, or the script, I don't know. Or the fact that it was Part 1. And I think a lot of people do wait for when I upload the all parts combined video. Except that I'm like deliberately, I've been holding off on doing those until like January when I go on hiatus. But it's probably not pleasing to everybody. Oh, that was my brain just short-circuited. That was good. Yeah, but needless to say, Steel Soul didn't do too hot. So fortunately, only 2 parts, and now it's done. For those that were not a fan for whatever reason. Fuck. What are we doing to ourselves? What am I doing? Oh my god, I can't think. I'm thinking about Steel Soul and stuff. This is disastrous. What am I doing? Oh, that was clutch. Yeah, so part 2 is even longer and more philosophical and more sort of esoteric, I suppose. So if you didn't like part 1, you're not gonna like part 2, I can tell you that much. But I liked it. I mean, I mostly liked it. I think there is like... I think there is that problem that can crop up in like intellectual writing like this. Where it's just like, no one talks like this. You know? Like maybe I don't hang out in circles, the intelligent enough circles or something like that. But just no one speaks like this in life. And it's like, okay, it's one thing for it to be like these kind of crazy, you know, Lampeter station masters or whatever that are, you know, something's kind of off with them and they have devolved into this sort of philosophical drivel, you know, and they're clearly meant to show them as just like not real humans anymore in a sense. But then, you know, the main character should be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he does say that a couple of times where he's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But then there are times where he is just like kind of along for the conversation, as you know, in step with them. Speaking like no one has ever spoken. So it's tricky. That wasn't correct. I do like it, and I think it does have some very like interesting sort of concepts that it delves into. Oh, we're fucked. We're cooked, boys. Oh, definitely cooked. That's not gonna save the day. Yeah, but that doesn't help. That doesn't help anything ever. I feel like there's probably a hold function. I just don't want to use anything but the arrow keys. Right. So Steel Soul's done. Something different next week. Might be explained SCPs. I think that was the last thing I added to the polls. Which is a bit of a funny title, I suppose, for a channel that explains SCPs. Damn it, look at the one in front of you. God damn it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of been a long time coming. There's a bunch of interesting explained SCPs. There's apparently another new Tetris game coming out. It's like, I don't know how you... Like, how do you top this? This seems to be, like, the ultimate Tetris experience. I don't... Like, they'd have to, like, really radically change something. Like, Tetris 99 or whatever was, like, a really unique concept. But for, like, just a core single-player Tetris experience, like, this is it. Anyways. Yeah, so that's all that. That's what's happening with the channels. We did play some RPGs this week. That wasn't smart. No one's ever thought that was a smart move. You can't. Oh! Amazing. Yes! We're still fucked, but not as bad. Right, so we played some more of our 13th Age campaign, Storm King's Thunder, after quite a bit of a hiatus there. So people were a little loose on remembering everything that happened, to say the least. But, you know, we got back into it. They remembered that there was a giant cloud staircase ascending or descending that they were invited to come climb up. So they remembered that at least. And so they went up to this cloud tower, greeted by a cloud giant, Zephyros. There's gotta be, you know, you gotta have puns in a D&D game. Although I don't think any of them realized it was a pun on Zephyr. Right, and so Zephyr is very cordial, very nice, very friendly giant. Meant to be a fast friend to them. And he explained sort of the story, the plot of the campaign. Kind of laid it all out for them that, oh, you know, there's this ordning, there's this hierarchy of giants, and it's been shattered, and so now they're all warring to see who can be on the top of the new ordning. And then he mentioned that there is this something's happened to the storm giant king, Hecate, and no one knows where he's gone. He just disappeared one day, and you know, there's like the crisis, a throne crisis of what's that called? You know, whatever the crisis is, where they can't figure out who's going to be on the throne. Between his 3 daughters, because the youngest is the most fit for it, but she's the youngest, and the other 2 are real bitches. So on and so forth. And this seems like a fast map we're playing on here. And you know, he kind of stays out of everything. He's not really connected with the giants anymore. He's isolated, and that's the way he likes it. But he is concerned because he's got a soft spot for... Yeah, I painted him as a real Gandalf-like figure. Got a soft spot for the little folk. And so... he kind of explained this all to them, and they were very much like... The book doesn't actually tell you to do this, by the way. The book keeps him pretty vague and like doesn't give the players much information at this point. He's just like, you know, he's a friend of the little folk, and he's upset about what the fellow cloud giants did to Nightstone, the village there. So he's willing to help them out by just giving them a ride to their next destination, and that's kind of it. But it's like, no, I mean, that's lame. And other people have suggested that he be a bit more of an expository dump of the plot. So I like that. But they kind of took this as to be like, okay, where should we go? You know, who are we gonna, what are we doing? Who are we fighting? Like, do you have any recommendations for where we'd go to, like, find giants and blah, blah, blah? And yeah, I mean, I try to do it a little bit in character, a little bit out of character, but like, yeah, he's not really expecting you to go fight giants or anything like that. Like, you know, he's just telling you the kind of the ongoing situation. But, you know, you're on your way to Golden Fields to just deliver news about this guy's dead parents and stuff like that. That's their current goal. So there's a risk there when you lay out the whole plot, and it's like, okay, well, we want to get to that plot. That sounds awesome. Like, why are we just going to this place to tell this guy's parents died? That's lame. I get that. And if I were playing, I probably would be like, well, no, we're not going to fucking Golden Fields anymore. There's this great epic giant plot going on. We got to get involved. So I think that is a little bit of a risk there, but they were understanding enough that they can't just go fight giants. Whereas I would be like, no, fuck that. I'll find a way to kill some giants. You better believe it. And I'll die trying. But anyways, so they're traveling along with him through the skies, and he gets a couple visitors. The first is meant to be like this cult. Oh, that was fuck. Well, there was like a bit of lag when the music changed and the scene changed. That was bullshit. So he gets visited by members of this cult that's meant to be a tie-in to like a different campaign, like the Princes of the Apocalypse or something. And it's like, why? We're running. Why don't stick to one campaign, please? Oh god, I'm not even paying attention now. Oh lordy, I fucked. Yeah, stick to one campaign. I haven't read Princes of the Apocalypse. I'm not going to read it anytime soon. I haven't even read Storm King's Thunder, so yeah, don't do that to me. And so one common suggestion is that you change that. You either drop it entirely and just don't worry about it, or fuck. Why is it so fast? Why is it so fast? Or you change it to a different cult, probably the Kraken Society, which is this, they're not a super big part of the campaign as it's written, but a lot of people recommend changing that to make them more involved. Oh, I fucked. Oh, I fucked. Oh, I fucked. Oh, we're so fucked. Oh, we couldn't be more fucked. This music's not helping, I gotta say. Hold on. This was a bad choice of a game. Okay. So the Kraken Society is this, like, basically a gang. It's like an organized gang of assassins and spies and shit that operate in the shadows and do mysterious things and so on and so forth. And they're all very ne'er-do-well-y. And of course, they are controlled and, you know, directed by, to the surprise of no one, a Kraken. Yeah. It's not just a fun title. It's like if Hydra from Marvel was run by an actual Hydra. That would be a twist. So yeah, they are present. They're part of the plot. I mean, spoilers alert, I guess, but they're actually responsible for, I believe, kidnapping the Storm Giant King, and I think assassinating the Queen. They're pretty bad dudes. See, and then you fuck yourself. Then it's like, then you gotta do this. Then you gotta do this. But they're, you know, they're present. They've done things in the background, but then, like, throughout the actual course of the campaign, they're not really present at all. So that's one of the most common changes that people make, is making them a bit more impactful and involved. And there's a whole, like, very popular side adventure called, I think, the Kraken's Gambit, I think it's called, that has a whole mission involving them. I haven't read it yet, but it's apparently very popular. So one of the changes then, suggested changes, is changing this cult that visits Zephyros to be the members of the Kraken Society. And I was on board with that, because I don't want to deal with Princes of the Apocalypse, but I like that there's a little bit of some shady business going on here. So the cult members just arrive while we're flying through the air on, like, giant vultures, and they have a private meeting with Zephyros. And, you know, my players were very kind of concerned about this. They weren't concerned that he was in league with, like, dark forces. They were concerned for his safety. They were like, oh no, he's alone. They look really shady. He's alone up there. Should we get up there? Like, he was in, like, this upstairs room that they couldn't reach. They were very concerned. But they also didn't want to, like, intrude upon his private meeting. Like, they really like this guy, you know? It's good. It's good. So in the end, they didn't do anything. I think they were still kind of debating about something to do when I just said that he comes back down. So that sort of ended the discussion. That's good. Well done, Mangg. Fucking great. Fucking great. Yeah, but now, see, why is it so fast? Nothing needs to be this fast in life. Life's too short for that. No, now you fuck. You're not thinking. No, you're definitely not. Thoughts are not occurring. What are you doing? My mind is gone. Yeah, damn it. I can't beat this. I'd have to give it my full concentration. This is on normal difficulty, by the way. If I could hold, maybe. Right. So he explained to them that they were members of the Kraken Society. He basically told them the whole truth. They were members of the Kraken Society, this evil society. He doesn't know they're run by a Kraken. It's a very big secret. Of course, it's got to be revealed at the last moment. They wanted him to join them in sort of taking over the Sword Coast, you know, and take advantage of all this warring that's going on, because they figured that he wasn't aligned with the Giants and he's on his own, and you know, they're trying to gain allies in their conquests. But he wasn't having it, and he just kind of politely dismissed them, but they threatened him kind of vaguely, blah blah blah, and then left. Then a couple days later, he got another visitor, but this time much more threatening. This was another change because I don't even know what the base version is of what's supposed to happen here. Some kind of drake or dragon or some, I don't even remember now. I changed it like immediately because I saw another suggestion that was like, I changed this to be Irmrith, who's like the main villain of the entire thing, and like she comes and visits because, you know, Zephyros is kind of like, he's been contacting other planes to try and figure out like what's going on with the Ordning and who's behind everything. So she's really concerned that he's gonna kind of discover her whole plot and reveal it all. So she arrives and, you know, tells him to stop meddling or else, and he refuses, of course. And that leads into a big climactic battle. And so the one suggestion I read that they also did this, but they changed it. They used like a stone dragon. Like she appears in like an avatar form, in the form of a stone dragon. Oh, and then I immediately get fucked again. Great. So basically, like, it's a battle scene, of course, and Irmrith appears in the form of this stone dragon flying out of the clouds really epically, and Zephyros, you know, duels with her, and they're like grappling one another, and it's just all very climactic. What the fuck am I doing? I cannot talk and play this at the same time. Zephyros duels her. Well, the few, like, little minions that she brought along are dealt with by the players. I think the recommendation, or the thing that I read someone did, was they used gargoyles. But I looked at the 13th Age bestiary, and gargoyles were a little high level, and I was like, it's not. I mean, I could, but it's not as cool. So I went with white wyverns. They breathe a little frost. They're not dragons, they're just little wyverns. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, you know, they're up on top of the tower with Zephyros when the stone dragon comes swooping out of the clouds, and starts attacking him, and he's grappling it, and then he's like, you know, I'll deal with her, you deal with the little ones, because, you know, the wyverns. And then I had him, like, use, like, air magic to, like, shunt them off the top of the tower onto, like, the solid clouds surrounding the tower. Because why not? You know, magic. So they landed on these solid clouds around the tower while he's up at the top of the tower dueling the dragon, and then they had to fight the wyverns. They thought it was pretty cool. So, and it was pretty cool. Oh, we also leveled them up to level 2, by the way. So that was at the start of the session. We're going to try to level them up somewhat quickly. It's mostly just like stat boosts after level 1. I mean, you do get some new stuff, of course, but a lot of stat boosts. So after that duel, he kind of explained Imarith is like this ancient dragon that's always warred with the giants and blah, blah, blah. And he's not really sure of her part in the plot, you know, that's ongoing. He's unsure, but he's going to continue to look into it, especially after this, you know, direct attack by her. And he's not sure how or if she's in league with the Kraken Society, but there are many mysteries afoot. And he basically tells them not to worry about it and, you know, just continue their journeys. Yeah. And that was basically, like, everything we did. Like, that fight took up most of the session. But they were really a big fan of the whole session. Because they loved, like, his story that he told about the ordning and everything. Like, they're really intrigued. And they wanted to get right into it. And that's why I'm not going to waste, like, 30 sessions on the 3rd chapter where they just wander around with no clear goal of what to do. It's like, no, they want to fight fucking giants. Let's get them to the giant. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. They landed then outside of Golden Fields, and they'll head into there next time. And then after Golden Fields, they'll probably be level 3. Well, there's no probably about it. They'll be level 3. And then there's another chapter. Well, no. So then there's chapter 3. And I might do like one side adventure. Yeah, we might do one side adventure to get them to 4. Or, you know, I don't know. A side adventure, and then I want to do like a big sort of montage sequence where they kind of tell me like adventures that they get up to and what magic items they find and stuff like that. Like, we're just gonna kind of montage a good chunk of what the campaign normally would be, and that will get them up to 4. And then there's another thing they do. There's another chapter that kind of sets up the rest of the plot of like actually going after the giants. And I might bump them right up to 5 at that point. Or 5, yeah, somewhere around there. Because then I want them to go take on the hill giants. And the statted hill giant is a level 6 double strength monster. So they need to be at least level 5 for that. And it'll still, I might have to down level them 1. But yeah, I mean, they really enjoyed the session. They're enjoying the campaign, so, you know, everything's pretty good. But the real issue, I suppose, right now is my mom. She is definitely struggling with rules and, like, remembering mechanics and remembering abilities and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot for her. And, you know, there comes a point where you teach them, you correct it, you teach them, you know, over and over and over, and it just doesn't ever click. Like, they're just not ever going to learn, really. And so there comes a point where you just switch from that to, okay, how do we accommodate that? You know, like, she's just not going to get it, and it's just a little overwhelming. We basically have to tell her, like, we have to remind her every turn about her abilities, or, you know, we have to tell her like what to roll. You know, it's just like, it's a lot. And so I was like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make a custom class for her, like the Brute or something, that has like no real abilities. Like, it has no active abilities you have to remember to use or anything like that. And it just is just better. Like, it's just the best fighter possible. It just doesn't have any options. And she was really excited about that. Because, like, she doesn't want to have to remember all this stuff and be corrected all the time. So she just needs, like, a tough, big, tough fighter. So I went to ChatGPT, which is, it did a passable job. Like, I basically said, like, I just want, like, a Brute. I want a character for 13th Age 2nd Edition called the Brute with maximum simplicity, only passive abilities, you know, Like, just all simple. It gave me some good ideas, at the very least. I'll give it that. It gave me some good ideas that I'm going to take. But obviously it gets like certain stats wrong or certain mechanics wrong, but whatever. It gave me some good ideas for just like good features. Like one passive feature they'll have, if you roll max damage on a melee weapon attack, you get to add your strength modifier to the damage a second time. Like stuff like that. Like if she doesn't remember it, it's not the end of the world. Because I also am going to just bump up like all her stats a bit compared to like a fighter. Like she'll have a little bit more AC. She might do a bit more damage with every weapon regardless, you know, things like that. Then what else did I give her? I'm not done with it yet, but yeah, I'm giving her like the thing where she gets 9 recoveries instead of 8, which is a fighter thing. I think, yeah, I bumped up. I gave her like fighter stats for everything. I think we might bump it up even more. There's like some good talent choices here that it provided, where like veteran instinct, you act as if you rolled a 16 for initiative unless you roll higher. So like no matter what she rolls, she can at least say, okay, I rolled a 16, or I whatever. So she always can have good initiative because she likes that. I thought about like basically she just like heals for 1d4 every round or something because she's got like troll blood. Just anything to just make her simple and strong and she doesn't have to worry about it. Because it's like, look, we're not gonna get this into like OP territory. Like she's just not gonna play it. It's just not gonna happen where this is OP. No matter how OP I might make some of the abilities in the hands of a capable player. It's just designed for simplicity. But I want it to just be better than like, okay, it's just a fighter, but you just don't use any abilities. Like I want it to be a bit better than that, to at least be a little bit in line with balance for encounters. So I'm not done with it, but I've got that started, and so I'll give that to her next time we play this week. Yeah, but other than that, I guess it's going pretty well. And they're liking Storm King's Thunder, and with some changes that I'm doing to it, I think it'll be pretty solid. We want to get to the giants and fight giants and do all that sort of stuff, so should be good. I guess that's it. So more Dominions this week, of course. More Two Brothers Play Dominions, and I'm gonna upload some RimWorld stuff, I think. And over on the Exploring series, part 2 of the Steel Soul. That'll do it. My name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. I'll see you fine folks next week.